Hey all, Peter Zeihan here, coming to you from my house. I'm about ready to jump in the car and head to the airport, but quick news update. A few months ago, there were presidential elections in Romania. They did it in two rounds, and the guy who came in first place, a guy by the name of Calin Georgescu, was a nobody. He'd been in a couple of minor roles in government in the 1990s. He really hasn't done anything with his life since, except for kind of shifted to the hard right, Nazi salutes and everything. Anyway, Romanian authorities were able to easily prove Russian intervention in the election, both funding for Georgescu specifically, so he's under criminal investigation right now, as well as just a huge social media presence that the Russians fabricated with as many fake followers as there are citizens in Romania. So it was really beyond the pale. The Russians wanted to see how far they could go. Anyway, the first round election was annulled. The repeat elections are going to be held in May, and the news overnight is that Georgescu has been barred from even running because of the investigation and because of the Russian influence. Now, this matters for two reasons. First of all, the U.S. government now, both Tulsi Gabbard, who is the director of national intelligence, who has been working with and for the Russians for the better part of a decade, and J.D. Vance, the vice president, have both come out publicly and said that what the Romanians are doing with Georgescu is part of the reason why Europe is now a bigger threat to the United States than the Russians are, which is, propaganda of which the Russians are just gleeful to have people at the top of the American system saying that. And now that Georgescu won't be allowed to run, you should expect those statements out of the United States to get much, much firmer. Two things there. Number one, I can't speak to J.D. Vance. That investigation is still in progress. But Tulsi Gabbard, she's in the process of going through all the intelligence directors and basically purging anyone who knows anything about counter-Russian operations, specifically about her. So that's a problem. Second, it appears that elements within the administration are looking for a minor ally, like say Romania, because they're in NATO, to have a formal breach of relations with in order to basically justify some of their policies and especially set the stage for a full NATO withdrawal by the United States. And this is shaping up to be the perfect test case for that. So the Romanians are doing what they need to protect their system. Decision makers within the American government are very clearly working hand in glove with the Russians on this, and things are going to get a lot worse before they even pretend to tilt towards getting better.